Arguably, the most prestigious game fish in this corner of Southeast Asia and in Australia is the barramundi. You can catch them in rivers, in estuaries and at sea, but they are becoming increasingly thin on the ground. One alternative then is to come to a venue like this, Boon Mar in Thailand.
Right now we're at a place called Boon Mar Ponds, which is located... Oh, it's come off! Boon Mar Ponds, which is located about an hour drive from Bangkok city. And I was going to show you a barramundi. That's what we're fishing for. We're lure fishing for barramundi, but it just threw the hook. So catch up with you in a little bit. Boon Mar Ponds is a barramundi fish farm made up of 55 1-acre ponds. The reason why Boon Mar Ponds is such a big commercial fish farm for barramundi in such a given area is because actually when you dig into the soil there's a natural salt content which makes the water brackish, not completely fresh. With brackish water it's perfect for barramundi fish farming. The salt gives the fish a nice coat and a nicer taste. It's like marinating a fish before it even hits the table, so to speak. But also, and perhaps more importantly, with a slight salt content in the water, the fish are less prone to disease and parasites, which can so often cause problems in an intensive fish farming environment. Thailand, believe it or not, is actually one of the biggest barramundi fish farming nations in the world.
Because the core business here is producing fish for the table, barbless hooks and careful catch and release are rigidly applied. Heavy mono tippets are also important to prevent fish and lure losses caused through chafing due to the Barra's rasping teeth. Quite a wide variety of lures, ranging from surface poppers down to deep divers, can on the day draw a good response. But one of the most consistent for Eddie and his clients has been this red self-weighted shad. Interestingly, the best Boon Mar fishing conditions are clear skies, hot sunshine and hardly a breath of wind. Not exactly the kind of conditions that would immediately have you straining at the leash back home. But it's the fish that make the rules. Ironically, after a particularly violent storm with widespread flooding in Bangkok the evening before, our day dawned as one of the hottest and the sunniest of the year. And as expected, as a result, the fishing itself was pretty hot too.
Yeah, 14–15 pound that. It's just a little bit cut there, so I'm going to be a bit quick with this one, Phil.
Never having caught a barramundi before, despite having fished for them in Australia, my priority on the day was simply to catch one by any means ASAP. Only then would I devote myself to trying to get one on the fly.
No, don't net them. What you got to do when they're ready, you just beach them onto the side here, and I'll blunt them out.
And within the first 5 minutes on the shad, it was objective achieved. When it's too windy for offshore boat fishing back in the UK, I quite regularly go stillwater fly fishing. Even so, I still found casting these big heavy lures something of a challenge. They seemed to throw the whole feel and balance of the outfit completely out of the window. But eventually, I did get it together of sorts and was hooked up within the first half dozen casts or so. What then became the problem was having the quickly drying fly line being ripped through my sweaty fingers, which didn't exactly make for an easy flow. The effect is like having a reel with a jerky sticking drag. But once the slack line is either out or back on the spool, it becomes a very much more even contest. It's just those first few moments until the slack line has been dealt with that are the potential danger point. Fortunately, the Fladden Maximus fly reel I was using had a lever drag, which not only helped in applying pressure to a running fish, but also in preventing overruns.
Cracked it.
The flies I used were a mix of pollock and tarpon patterns tied on size 1 to 2/0 hooks. Heavy beaded heads to get them down quickly also helps. And this is the remains of the most successful fly on the day. As for the outfit itself, that was a weight 8 throughout with a floating line. Takes could come anywhere and at any time. Some would grab taking you completely by surprise at the first draw, while others would catch you completely unprepared at the other end of the retrieve, all of which added to the enjoyment.
I wasn't expecting that. Caught me on the word just as I'm lifting the fly off the water.
Not everything, unfortunately, always went according to plan. Having prematurely parted company with a few early fish on a 15-pound leader, in the end I switched to a full length of 60 pounds mono. But, at times it seems, even that was not enough.
Oh. One that got away. That's fishing.